that our understanding of leverageable equity is perhaps, it's the bloodstream of real estate entrepreneurship. It just is the setting and framework for everything we do. Understanding the world of equity, cash flow, and leverage. That's what leverageable equity, that's sort of the equation. Technically, leverageable equity, the maximum amount I can borrow against a piece of real property, not to exceed the available equity or the net positive cash flow. Right? What can I harvest from one to plant and buy and grow another? Right? Leverageable equity. How do we create leverageable equity? How do we create equity and cash flow? Is what the real estate entrepreneur is always looking to do, right? Buy more homes, find more Jeff and Kellys, pay for it, right? But the more technical version, right, is we're trying to create equities and cash flow that the combination of those two create value that allows us to draw from and buy more real estate. That's what we're trying to do, okay? I'll give you some examples and just things that are simple. We couldn't do anything complicated in a short period of time. So what I'm throwing at you is pretty much base hit kind of thinking, but I want you to see it. I sent a letter out. This guy gets a letter. Okay, there's proactivity, there's intention, right? You should have hundreds of letters going out every single Monday, period. I couldn't imagine a Monday where a drop shipment of letters isn't sent in my world. It's just the way it is. And you get very scientific about that letter, what it looks like, how it's written. Every neighborhood's written differently. Owner-occupied, non-owner-occupied, non-owner out of state. I mean, it's very scientific. The envelope, the color of the envelope, the month of the color of the envelope, the size of the stamp, the color of the ink. It's all scientific. So once you know it, follow the pattern and just never look at it. But when a guy like this gets a letter, and this is a seasoned veteran, owns a lot of real estate, he took the letter seriously, and he gave me a call. And he said, hey, he said, hey Greg, this Larry, I got a call that you want to buy the Melbourne, right? That's exactly how he talks. And I said, Larry, I'd love to buy the Melbourne. When can we meet there and chat about it? Well, hell, you tell me. I said, I could be there in 10 minutes. Great, I'll see you there, right? So I meet him at this building. The left brain side of toolbox is nothing without the right brain side of awareness, people skills, and the art of negotiation. And so who drives up, what they look like, their vocabulary, their demeanor. He's wearing a $6,000 shoe, a $1,000 pair of shoes, a $100,000 Mercedes. Doesn't look like he's ever held a hammer for 1 second in his life. And he gets out of his Mercedes in the courtyard parking lot of this building. Now what's wrong with that picture? 1958 ugly building owned by this guy. There's interesting here, right? So I immediately know that Larry owns more of these, right? This isn't his only one. We start talking about it. He's all business. He just hands me a rent roll and said, here you go, Green, there's 38 units. You want to walk through one or two? Yeah, let's do that, Larry. And we look through small little 1-bedroom units in a 20 on a 10 scale location. So the location's perfect. 1958 ugly building. You can hit a golf ball off the roof and hit the Space Needle in Seattle, right? So it's right there. This was built for the 63 World's Fair, like a lot of housing was in Seattle. Anyway, we work out a deal. Now, can you figure out how to buy a $1.2 million building without any of your money? Well, I want you to, because that's leverage, right? We want to use leverage. Does the building allow for leverage? You can borrow any amount of money you want if you provide the right garage for money. Money needs a garage. And the garage has got to be collateral, It's got to be return. It's got to be customer service. And there's got to be room to open the doors in the garage, right? There's got to be room to open the doors. You've got to show that this is a garage big enough for the money you want. That's your job. And when you know how to create that garage, you take it out there to the world of money, and money's looking for garages to park itself right now, believe me. I mean, do you know how many billions of dollars are in conventional lending institutions sitting there at under 2% right now? Billions of dollars. How many self-directed IRAs haven't had a direction in years? A direction, just sitting there. People are frozen, they don't know what to do with it. That's money looking for a home. Okay? Well, all right. We worked out a deal to buy this building. And paid $1 million, $200 down, $800 on a note with a wrap note. And I could wrap the underlying that Larry had because his was a private note on the underlying with no due on sale clause. So wrap note's a great tool. All-inclusive trustee can be used on the buying of real estate and on the sale of real estate. So I bought the building. Now, what do you do? Sometimes it's so simple. I didn't pull one permit to do everything on this list. And everything on that list was done inside of 90 days. So cleaned up all the units and raised the rent. Rented 22 parking spots, painted some lines and numbers, but now they're rented instead of first come, first served. Built 38 storage lockers in the basement. I raised the monthly income stream by $47.60 a month, annually $57,000. If I use a 6 cap, I almost made $1 million on that building in 90 days. I held the rent roll for 6 months. I sold the building for $1,875,000. Larry gets cashed out, the $800 that I owe him, like 9 months after I bought it. And he calls me and says, "Hey Greg, I see you sold the Millmore." I said, "Yeah, Larry, I sold the Millmore." Yeah. He says, "Yeah, looks like I left a little chicken on the bone." And I said, "Well, Larry, there was a little chicken there. You know, I worked pretty hard for that chicken, but yeah, I did okay. It worked out all right." He goes, yeah, good for you. Are you ready for your next one? I said, "Sure." He says, "Well, I'll see you at the Bel Air in 10 minutes, which is a block and a half away. I bought 43 buildings from Larry. Why would he need anybody else? Why would he? He named his price. I said yes. I'd give him a down payment. I'd wrap the underlying. I'd buy it, either hold it, clean it up, sell it. I made his job easy. I was like the guy he hoped would come along on the white horse when he got to a point where he wanted to sell over a 7-year period. Great, we'll just go right down the list. And of course, I looked up everything he had. And so what's the order of service here, Larry? Which one's next? Let me get ahead of the game so I can, he would always tell me, here's kind of how it's going to play out. This will be my last one, and it's going to be done over this period of time. He's well thought out, right? Creating cash flow, creating equity. I could keep that building. I could borrow against it now if I wanted to hold it, right? It's got plenty of cash flow, plenty of equity. I could borrow against it and go buy more buildings. Or I can take that capital, 1031 into something else, right? I want you to think about your portfolio like a chessboard.